Hello everybody, my name is Balam Nájera. I am an animator and the expert resident in salty politics for EDH.
Hi, I am Victor, and I paint Magic the Gathering cards.
Hi guys, this is Bago. I like that metal, and I like big spells.
And edgy stuff.
Welcome to the very first episode of the Salty Commander podcast. Okay.
We actually have an intro.
Yeah.
Right? We have an intro?
Yeah.
We do, yeah.
Sure.
Good deal.
Okay, so thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you,
Well,
buddy.
we are all just some EDH aficionados, expert players. I would
Pro
say the
players,
top
yes.
players.
We are expert players. Yeah, we are expert players.
Yeah.
Top
we are-
EDH players in the world.
Yes.
No CDH.
No CDH.
And
We
we
put
are,
in the hours.
Yeah, we are gathered here today for this little project. We want to talk about cards and stuff, and we think we have a very unique and special, of course, perspective on the beautiful game of EDH.
That is true, yes.
Yeah. that is
We
true.
are, like
I-
like we were saying, we are the top 3 players in the world of EDH. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we know what we're talking about, yeah.
Well, especially today, we have for the very first episode, we have a very spicy topic.
Caliente.
Yeah, muy caliente. Muy picoso.
Muy picoso. Mucho fuego. We are talking about Planeswalkers as your commander. So we want to know what people think about it. We are going to talk our points of view, pros, cons, all that good stuff. Good stuff.
So the way we came around this topic is because of the recent rules committee news, where a lot of the community people got into the advisory role or something like that, which is pretty cool. And that got like a lot of topics going on about the ban list, about other stuff, and one of them was Planeswalkers as commanders. And this has been a really controversial topic along the years, and so we want to give our input into it and listen to yours as well.
Yeah, I agree. I am up for Planeswalkers as commanders. I have a few pros and a little bit of cons that I would like to explore. I recently did a poll on Twitter, and I noticed that a lot of people. It was kind of like at the same time that we were talking about it, and we were contemplating making the video about this topic, and I ran across a lot of similar comments, a lot of similar mindsets about this topic. I've noticed that a lot of people really, really want to have Planeswalkers as commanders, and rightfully so, because you can.
They're cool, I guess.
They're cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
they're the face of Magic. Like they're the player avatars right now for the story or for the marketing and everything. Like players are called Planeswalkers, so it just like kind of makes sense. And
Yeah.
like in Commander, it's just flavorful, right? Like the Commander is a Planeswalker.
It's Planeswalker.
Mostly, I've seen a lot of negative ideas about this, or well, opposition about this. Like they're too broken, or they have way too annoying abilities. I mean, yes, but I don't think it really matters that much. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think-
I agree.
Yeah, I think it depends on the Planeswalker. But yeah, I mean, most of the time it won't be that much a difference between a good legendary creature or a good Planeswalker. I mean, at the end of the day, if a deck is good, it will be good with Planeswalker or a creature. I will say that. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that it can warp the game a little bit. And I think, there are several approaches to it. So yeah, Let's dive into it, guys.
One of the things that we talked about with the people at the LGS, because we have a chat with those guys too, and it seems that they're on the same page as people on the internet, which is that Tezzeret the Seeker is one of the main issues when it comes to Planeswalkers as commanders. But I remember that I used to have an Arkham Daxon deck, and it was very yeah, it's the same. Like, I think Arkham Daxon it's easier to pilot and to get the combo out than Tezzeret the Seeker. It comes down earlier, and I mean, he doesn't have haste, but you can give him haste. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so let me read Tezzeret the Seeker for everybody. It's a 5 CMC, 3 generic, and 2 blue mana. Planeswalker Tezzeret that starts with 4 loyalty. His first ability is +1, untap up to 2 target artifacts, -X. Search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost X or less and put it into play. Then shuffle your library. That's pretty much the strong one. And is that a -3, -5?
-5.
-5, yeah.
Artifacts you control become 5/5 artifact creatures until end of turn.
Base power and toughness 5/5 until end of turn.
Yeah.
I think the broken one is the -X, right? Like the +1.
-X.
It's pretty good and everything, but I think the important one is the -X.
-X. Yeah, and what I noticed like about Arkham Daxon is that like in 2 turns or like 1 turn you can tutor out your combo and basically lock out the table. I don't see how Tezzeret the Seeker can do it faster.
Can you read Arkham Daxon for us?
Yeah. Arkham Daxon. It's a 4 CMC, 3 of anything, and 1 blue. It's a 2/2 legendary creature, human artificer. That matters. It taps target artifacts, target artifact. Creature's controller sacrifices it. So, like, basically, you sacrifice your own artifact creature, and that player may search their library for a non-creature artifact card, put it into the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So it's a tutor on a stick.
Is that player? That's like even better.
Yeah, player, because you can make someone sacrifice an artifact creature. And like you can make someone sacrifice a Blightsteel Colossus if it's attacking you or whatnot.
Oh, that's dope. I never thought about that. Well, not right. I've never made an Arkham Daxon deck, so I never.
No, and you shouldn't. It's not.
Yeah. The thing with that deck is, you will never see that ability used on another player. I think it's mostly a combo.
It's way too powerful.
Combo deck, right?
Unless it's like a Blightsteel. Like, what are you gonna go for? Like, is it? Wait. Oh, it's any artifact. I just thought it was like bigger CMC or something like that.
No, you get non-creature.
Okay,
that's the only restriction. But like there are a lot of combos that you can do, and it's really not that difficult. So I don't see the issue of having Tezzeret the Seeker.
And it kind of comes out at the same time. Like Tezzeret the Seeker is a 5 mana Planeswalker, and this guy is a 4 mana. But you have to take into account the haste thing, which you can go around because of the boots and stuff like that.
Yeah, but one less blue.
There's several things to give him haste. I will say that I think that the main point that the people are saying is, it's easier. First of all, it's easier to kill a creature. First of all,
for sure.
And second of all, this guy has 3 abilities. It's not just the combo factor. Is the thing that you can also untap 2 artifacts and also make your artifacts 5/5s. So you are in front of a 5-turn play, maybe 3, in which you can ramp a lot, and also it can be a little bit tricky to kill a Planeswalker. So I understand the point of Planeswalkers are broken as commanders.
I don't know, like I don't know if broken. Like, it's not to say they're not powerful. They're pretty powerful. Like
they're powerful.
Like the Planeswalkers we already have that can be used as commanders, like, have shown that it's a pretty powerful thing to have.
Yeah, like what's
Yeah.
the difference with the new Sahili, the one that came out?
Yeah,
in-
right. Like I've played against the new Sahili,
The gifted.
the Sahili the
The
gifted.
Gifted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it do?
Yeah. I mean, Sahili the Gifted, it's 2 of anything, blue and red, for a legendary planeswalker Sahili, and she enters the battlefield with 4 loyalty counters. So she has the +1 abilities, create a 1/1 color servo artifact creature, and then she also have another +1 ability, which is the next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. That's the main
Yeah,
ability that people
that's
use.
like a
Sahili.
Tolarian Academy on a planeswalker.
Yeah, and the final ability is -7. For each artifact you control, create a token that is a copy of it. Those tokens gain haste, and you need to exile those tokens at the beginning of the next end step. So, I mean, yeah, the main abilities, you get, first of all, +1 to create a colorless servo, and then you
Servo.
can cast any spell for 1 less for each artifact.
Yeah.
So I've seen, for example, Eldrazi decks with Sahili.
Mhm.
They're like super powerful.
Yeah, the annoying thing is like the next spell you cast. Like it doesn't have to be an artifact. It can be anything. And
Exactly.
I think we've played in our LGS like to let everybody know like we're not just speaking out of nowhere. Like we live this in the streets. Like we are
Yeah.
we're EDHing in the streets. We know
Yeah.
how dangerous it is
In
out
the
there.
streets and in the sheets.
In Mexico streets,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah, we play in the sidewalk without any sleep. So yeah,
And if you
That- that
lose an
can-
EDH game, you die.
we use a rubber band for our cards.
yeah.
Okay, so
You lose your cell phone if you lose.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I've been seeing Sahili decks. I mean,
like
the first wave, if you want to call them like that, the first wave of Sahili decks were like pure artifacts,
but you,
and
yeah,
then I've been seeing Eldrazi's and big spells like big instants and
like
sorceries.
a Jaleva Light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or like the
exactly.
deck we faced the other day that was like a
Yeah.
an obliterate combo deck and what was
Yeah, it is a deck.
what's the other card?
Yeah, it is
like
a-
the red card that
it-
destroys everything.
Exiles.
It
Decree
is
of-
Apocalypse and
Decree-
Obliterate.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me read obliterate for everybody that
Hmm.
is I don't know, pristine enough not to know, like is
Living
lucky
on-
enough to not know.
Lucky enough, yeah.
Obliterate. 8 CMC, 6 generic, and 2 red. A sorcery. And it reads Obliterate can't be countered. Destroy all artifacts, creatures, and lands. They can't be regenerated. So obviously the deck had a bunch of cards that had like effects, similar effects. And
Yeah.
you couldn't do anything
runs-
because you can't regenerate, you can't counter it.
Yeah, it is Obliterate, Apocalypse, and I think Decree of Annihilation.
Yeah. Decree of
The
Annihilation.
three, yeah. So the deck is just like mana rocks, and then you just they cast Obliterate on turn like 4
And they
5.
switch it out with like mystical tutor or
and-
some edgy
Yeah.
thing like that, and
Yeah,
just
and
kill you
they
with
they float the mana.
kill you with colorless
No,
servos, 1/1s.
Yeah, they float the mana and they can cast like another planeswalker or whatever, and they pretty much stall the game until the point that all the players are like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
out.
Nice.
So that's an awful deck to play against.
Nice.
But yeah, that shows that this planeswalker is legal, and she has like a ton of pretty broken decks on her. So I mean, yeah, I can see the point of Tesseract, for example, being like a super control and combo and meta deck,
Mhm.
but it's not like anything
Yeah, like
broken
like
or
I think that's
or
our
new.
overall
Yeah.
point. Like, there's nothing new
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah,
And it's
Like-
not like sorry, my thing is not about my one concern is not about planeswalkers being broken or too good, because you have like Prosh, Food Chain, and like CDH decks. So
Yeah,
that's
like we have like tier 1
Yeah.
CEDH combos that are just ridiculous. That no,
redundant.
like they laugh at these planeswalker
yeah.
Mhm.
they are like turn 5, okay. But at that point, I already won.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, my main concern is about the feel bad factor, and it's a factor that not a lot of people like understand. I was
Yeah, I
listening
got
to
you.
the Command Zone podcast the other day, and
Oof.
and they were
Shout
shut
out
up,
to them. Yeah.
and they were talking about cards like Biorhythm and all these cards that are on the ban list but shouldn't be banned according to them because like 8 mana, 9 mana, 10 mana, you're already gonna win the game if you like play spells. Yes, but it's the
Mhm.
way you win the game or the way people lose the game because if you cast Biorhythm and someone just happens to not have creatures, they lose the game, and that person is gonna feel bad. It's gonna feel like shit, and it's not
I
gonna
Yeah.
don't.
come.
I
I
don't think
mean,
that matters. Like,
it,
I
it
don't care if another person feels bad. He's out of the game. Like, like, like the game has
okay,
to
okay,
end at
right,
some
right. What if
point.
they
Like,
do that to you? Wouldn't you be salty? Wouldn't you
Of course I'll be salty,
throw a
but I'm
a
always
temper
salty either
tantrum?
way. Like you attack me with a
Yeah.
10-10 at turn 2. Like, well, not 2, but like turn 3, you're attacking me with a 10-10 either way. So, like, it's not a big difference to me to die at turn 9 than to die at turn 4. Like, it's pretty annoying. It's a lot of annoying things in EDH already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah, we agree that that's at the end of the day, like you said, there's nothing new. There's still like super broken decks that are
Like, of course
legal.
I'm gonna feel
So
that.
yeah.
Like, I can see, let's say, I don't know, a Vraska, right? That
Which one?
you start in, or a Liliana or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Something that puts tokens, right?
Yeah.
You start with your commander and put a token and put a token and you want to attack it and you can't, it blocks, and the other guy is out there eating glue or I don't know, on the cell phone, or I don't know, some dumb
Yeah.
things, and so he's not paying attention to what's going on, and then the Planeswalker ultimates and everybody's dead.
Everybody says.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the
of course
most annoying.
that's frustrating, yeah.
And when people don't
But
pay Ristic study tax.
yeah, like, it's the
Um,
same. I don't know.
yeah,
I
things
feel
like that.
like it kind of is the same. It's
well,
all politics.
it's all politics. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're still playing against 3 other people, and if you're playing like a super broken commander, be it a planeswalker, you will get the hate of
Like,
the
yeah,
entire
that's
table,
another
like,
factor.
no times.
Bago sounds French.
I am French. But I do have 2 planeswalkers. Sorry,
Go.
I do have two planeswalkers here that I think that might be a little problematic to play against them. First of all, we have Ugin. Ugin,
Again.
the Ugin, the German dragon.
German dragon?
Uh, no. Ugin, the spirit dragon, is an 8, 8 of anything. Planeswalker. Yeah, you can
Anything.
pay in any fashion color that you want. Yeah, so he's a Planeswalker Ugin. It enters with 7 loyalty counters, and the abilities are the plus
Plus
1 a
two.
bit, plus 2. Sorry. Ugin, the spirit dragon, deals 3 damage to target creature or player. So that's kind of relevant, I think, as a commander. And then you have the minus X, which is exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less. That's is 1 or more colors. So here is the main ability that I think it's pretty broken for a commander. And you also have minus 10. You gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, then put up to 7 permanent cards from your hand into the battlefield.
That's never gonna happen.
So obviously that's also a big ability, but I think the main one is the minus X, because you will have, first of all, of course Ugin is colorless, so you will have a deck pretty much all mana rocks. You will have Ugin be cast on turn, let's say 5, and you will start to exile all
Why?
null and permanents, which has colors. So
Why?
yeah, I
Why
would
would
think
why
that
would you
would be
exile permanents? Because Here's my thing. People know that they're playing against Ugin.
Okay.
People see it
Yeah.
on your command zone, and
Yeah, but I
they can
mean-
play around it. Like if I see an Ugin, I'm not gonna go like big and like I'm not gonna play all my stuff. I'm gonna hold it back, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna.
But
try-
how are you gonna hold it back forever?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think this guy creates an ambient that you were saying, a feel bad ambient on the table, because whenever you see an Ugin on the table, you're like, okay, I'm going to keep my stuff and not play it until the Ugin
Yeah,
is
but then
gone, right?
some Victor
But if-
Adame doesn't care about Ugin and plays everything and just hits everyone.
Eugene.
And by the time Ugin comes around
Yeah.
and kills everything, you're like 20 life down.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
never happened like
I
that.
think the no, I mean the thing is like, since Ugin is your commander, like you said, yeah, the entire table will be like not playing their big spells or just mana rocks. I don't know. That will create like a not fun table to play in, because you will be like all the time on a clock. If you play your stuff, it will be exiled, and if you don't, Ugin is going to make 3 damage to whatever creature.
I
Or
think
to
that
you.
like the 3 damage is
So-
like the most annoying because like you're like ramping, you have like a mystic elf or
Yeah,
elvish mystic
you will have-
or birds of
you will have-
paradise or something, and he just like yours dies because I said so.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're playing just mana rocks in this colorless deck, yeah, Ugin is going to come out like in turn 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So I think Ugin, it will be like a pretty difficult commander to play against.
I think it would be one of the worst ones too. But like again, you're colorless.
Yeah.
Who wants to play a colorless deck?
I mean, you have the Eldrazi,
Well, yeah,
you have
yeah.
Emrakul.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like it will be a fun deck to play, but I think it will be like a
Yeah,
super
like
powerful
are
deck.
CDH
And,
decks really
yeah.
fun to play?
No.
No.
We'll play against.
No, they are not. Yeah.
But wait, PSA,
And also,
here in
yeah.
in the Salty Commander community, we think that you can play and do whatever you want. You are not obligated to play exactly how we play. Like it's CDH, like do whatever you want. It's
Yeah.
just like we like to express ourselves.
We're gonna
very
team up
freely.
against you. But
Yeah,
you can
we're gonna
play-
team up against you. Like that's the thing. Like you have a CDH deck.
Yeah.
Like okay, whatever, cool. Like you do you. Just be aware we're gonna go against you, and like just we'll just leave it in the game, and like we can keep joking and
Yeah.
having a fun time.
Yeah, I think everyone has.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, if
powerful
I-
deck. Like if you bust out your CDH deck, we'll play our more powerful decks, and we're gonna team up against you, and you're not gonna have fun probably.
Yeah, and I think that will happen if anyone had an Ugin
Yeah.
deck. Like it will be 3 against 1 from the
Um,
get go.
I think. Well, my final comment on this is that we need more data. We need to someone needs to make a busted Ugin deck and then play it against.
I mean,
It's
it's not
not-
that
it's not.
difficult though. It you can, yeah. I mean, you can. It's the same thing against, for example, a Kozilek deck, in which they are only playing like a ton of mana rocks and then Kozilek and then kill with Annihilator. But in this case, you will have the exile effect every time. So I mean, yeah, it will be like super annoying. And also, as a little side note, I just remember this guy Sorin Markov. So I will think that deck will be also like
You're breaking out.
I'm not saying like super powerful, but like
I don't
feel
know. I don't know
bad
if
aspect
Sorin
to
is
it.
a really big threat. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I never care about Sorin when I see him.
Yeah.
Like everybody talks about like, oh, broken EDH planeswalkers,
Yeah.
and people keep saying Sorin. I just think Sorin is kind of trash.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's broken. I'm saying that it carries like a feel bad factor to it, because if you're playing on a table and you're like, okay, your life
What's
just
okay? What's the
becomes 10.
difference?
Okay,
What's the
you're-
difference between
you're pretty much
Soren
dead.
and Magister Sphinx? Magister Sphinx, you can. Is that Magister Sphinx?
Yeah, Magister Sphinx. Okay, let's.
It
Yeah,
is.
let's read it.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's read Soren
Let's read.
and then Magister Sphinx.
Okay.
Okay, so Soren Markov is a 6 CMC, 3 generic, 3 black mana planeswalker Soren that enters with 4 loyalty counters. +2, Soren Markov deals 2 damage to target creature or player and you gain 2 life. -3, target opponent's life total becomes 10. And -7, you control target player during that player's next turn.
That's not
That
very
also,
bad.
yeah.
Can someone read Magister Sphinx?
Magister Sphinx is 4 of anything, 1 white, 1 blue, and 1 black for a 5/5 artifact creature Sphinx. It has flying, and when it enters the battlefield, target player's life total becomes 10. And this is why I think Magister Sphinx is better. It's because it's a creature, and you can recur it, and you can cheat it into play easier than... Like, you can entomb, and on turn 2 or 3, or 1 if you have like Dark Ritual, entomb, and animate dead or something.
Well, if you're playing a C88
No
C88
CD
deck,
no-
yes.
no
Not even
Because no one
necessarily a
plays Dark
CDH,
Ritual.
like even a Esper Reanimator.
There's
or something like
there's
that.
no tier 1 CEDH deck that plays this.
Yeah.
No. I was saying it was a joke about Dark Ritual. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I
It's
mean,
a
yeah, we all
joke.
love Dark Ritual, I guess. No, I mean, and what I'm saying is like, yeah, Magister Sphinx is better, but it also carries a super feel bad factor because whenever you're target of a Magister Sphinx or a Soren Markov, like
Because
why-
I wanna
why?
kill you.
I mean, why?
Why?
Why? Why?
I don't know. Like
And also, Soren will be your commander.
also
I mean,
Norway.
you can be like, okay, your life becomes 10, and then Soren will die, and then again, your life will become 10. So I think it will be like, I mean, I'm not saying it's super broken, but
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
I've bounced
can get
back from like, and
tricky.
you've played against that sort of like those sort of decks like
yeah.
Tristani and stuff like that. It can bounce back from like 2 life to 100 in
Yeah.
1 turn. So I don't care. Like, okay, if you
Yeah.
like drop me to 10 and on the same turn kill me, that's fair. Like, I don't care. But if you like just drop me to 10 and that's it, like that's just petty and.
To send a message. Yeah, we'll be sending you to 10 life just to give you a message.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
were playing that game with this guy, right? And there was like someone who was like way ahead.
Oh
and
yeah,
this-
yeah. Oh, I remember. I
And this
remember
guy said, "Okay, guys."
It was we were playing like some two-headed giant thing.
Yeah, we're-
and
No, I think it was
actually
it was like 4 players.
No, yeah, I remember. Bago and I were a team, and we were playing Infect,
Infect. Okay.
and I was a Traxa Infect, and he was Skitrix, and
Yeah.
we were like killing the rest of the table, right? And some guy tried to bargain with me, like he tried to intimidate with me, like. Oh no, I remember. He said to the table,
I got this.
"Oh, all right, guys, I got this." And he was like very like, yeah, like very, oh yeah, you
Yeah.
gonna die. And I was like, I was
Yeah.
I was confident that he didn't have like a lot, but I was still intrigued, right? I was like, oh, what he's gonna do? And he just like tapped himself all out and Soren Markov, you go to 10.
You go to 10.
And then
And that's
he
it.
immediately died to Infect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, your
Yeah.
life now
And then we
10.
won.
How about that?"
How about
Yeah.
that message?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we were playing like Atraxa with Skitherix, so it was like a super broken combination. And yeah, I mean, point to creatures, right? Yeah, I mean, creatures are
Yeah, I don't.
powerful
Yeah,
enough to beat Planeswalkers.
Yeah, it
I
reminds
guess.
me of the point that I was like when like the thing you were mentioning about feel bad. I think Karn Liberated
Mhm.
is a way more feel bad
Yeah.
than any of the other Planeswalkers. Karn.
Yeah, I think Karn is the one we have
True.
to look out
Yeah.
for.
I don't know who would do this. Like someone who's like just plain evil, who hates puppies.
Who's made out of
Yeah.
dead puppies or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the devil.
Karn
Yeah.
Liberated is a 7 mana, 7 of anything, legendary Planeswalker Karn. It enters with 6 loyalty counters, and it has +4. Target player exile. All the loyalty.
Loyalty.
Target player exiles a card from their hand. -3 exile target permanent, and -14 restart the game, leaving in exile all non-aura permanent cards exiled with Karn Liberated. Then put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. You start a new game. No one wants to start. I mean, we want to start a new game after finishing this one. We don't start like we want to go back.
I think there's
Yeah.
gonna be like an edgelord out there
Yeah.
that's gonna go like, oh yeah, -14. Let's start a new game, guys.
It's
And,
like this game that we played.
Yeah.
It's like the game that
I
we
was
played
thinking
against the
about-
same Soren guy. We. Oh my god,
Yeah.
his ears might be busting right now.
I mean, I will see a deck with Karn being like, again, all mana rocks, and then like a ton of like puny little creatures like Topters or whatever, just so he can
Yeah.
block enough to.
And you
to-
got the-
like he
to
doesn't
reach
even
No,
Karn's
like, you
ultimate.
have
he
the
doesn't
chain
even
to
have
do it
to
over
block.
and over
Like,
again.
He just goes
Yeah.
+4, and like if you don't have haste, you're pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the chain, but like you have the chain veil too. Like
Yeah.
you can do
Like,
the +4s
I-
twice.
I've lived
True,
through Karn turn like 3 or 4, and yeah, it is disgusting.
Who played that?
It-
Huh? Sounded like a nice guy.
The JD,
The JD.
mythical
Red
JD.
community.
Yeah, the bread community.
No, we played the same guy,
Um,
the same Soren guy, and it was a 4-player game or 5, I don't remember, and no one had anything but lands, and this guy casts Armageddon or Ravages of War or something, just because. It was,
It was.
Yeah,
it was
I think I
Ravages,
remember the art of
Yeah, it's
Ravages.
the same thing.
and he played it just because, and it
Yeah.
slowed down everyone else, just for the
Yeah.
lulz.
Just
And
for the
I-
lulz.
This Agents of Chaos. Oh man, I love Agents of Chaos. I don't love them. I hate them. So okay, a bit of a side note. What? Welcome to the Agents of Chaos definition. An agent of chaos is those players that like are kind of paying attention but not really,
Not really.
and just do things kind of because like they will absolutely tell you, oh yeah, it's just for the lulz or just cause or give you like non-answers like
Yeah.
sure whatever or just evade and like play just random stuff at random times and that don't even make them win.
Just
to annoy
Like
people.
yeah, like
Yeah,
it's,
just to annoy
It's
the
like playing a
entire
chaos
table.
deck, but in a person. Like it doesn't even have to be a chaos deck. Like it could be elf decks or whatever deck. It's just the person plays very randomly.
Yeah.
Like it's just flips dices in its mind, and that's the way he chooses.
Yeah, they don't have any threat assessment. They don't care about winning. They just care about annoying people, tilting.
Tilting.
As long
As
as,
they
I
say.
tilt you.
as they call it. I will tilt you until you are so sideways that you can even walk. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be that guy.
A ver,
Yeah,
mira,
man,
a ver.
I think that type of player will be.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, I think that kind of player
Uh-huh.
will play
I
a card
agree.
liberated deck, like you were saying, just to restart the game, like
Really good.
3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I know.
Just
Yeah,
because,
like those
just
people like wanna
So-
like keep a score of how many times they've restarted the game in one game. Like just try to top themselves
Yeah.
each time. Like oh, it once
They have like a life counter, like a spin down life
They have a
counter
note-
with the
a
number
note.
of games. Yeah.
For how many times? Yeah.
don't play with those
So
people.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, now I'm thinking it. Now that I'm thinking about it, like a card deck sounds pretty busted because every new game does start with all the exiled things, and it's okay. Yeah, that guy we should look out for.
Yeah, you should look out for the guy, not for the. I mean, for the Karn.
No, for the Karn.
Yeah.
Like even as a competitive Karn player.
yeah.
Like I don't know. Like
Yeah, I mean that ability can get relevant if you exile enough interesting things. I had this game the other day in which a player actually restarted the
man.
game. Yes, but he had on their card just this aura that whenever a player gets attacked,
Yeah,
you
curse of
create a
something.
zombie or whatever. And I had on the field this guy.
No, Saul.
Nehasal is the name. The blue Nehasal.
No,
It is
the-
Nehasal,
the
right?
blue
The
one.
dinosaur, the black dinosaur, the blue dinosaur. Sorry.
The
So
blue
I
elder
in
dinosaur,
response
everybody.
blinked the guy. Yeah, I used the ability to blink the dinosaur, so the game restarted with me having a dinosaur. So
No, you can't.
I won the game.
Okay,
Yeah,
you can't blink. it.
but yeah.
Well, you blink it, but it stays in the
Why?
in the first game. Like it blinks back on the first game, but this is a new game.
No. You restart the game. You don't. It's not
You restart the game, yeah.
or Shahrazad.
It's the same.
game.
It is the same game, right?
You restart the game.
Okay.
Yeah, so it yeah. So I mean, this guy returned it at the end of the turn. To my side. So I think that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the correct play, right? You
Yeah,
can do
Victor is
that,
confused.
right?
No, I'm reading.
Reading
I'm
the
reading the
card
rules.
explains the
I'm
card.
reading
Yeah.
the rules.
Mm.
I'm reading rulings.
The shark has arrived, indeed. Yeah.
Actually,
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 You do that.
you can't do that.
okay. So another card everybody talks about when you talk about Planeswalkers is the green one. Yes.
that one, yeah. Doubling season.
Forest. I
The
thought
counters
Doubling
one.
season.
Doubling season.
Realis?
Doubling season.
Okay, so
Doubling season. Yeah.
I don't
Doubling
think
season.
doubling season is gonna. Okay, read it. Read the.
It's
card.
a 5 doubling season is a 5 CMC card, 4 generic, 1 green enchantment. If an effect would put 1 or more tokens into play under your control, it puts twice that many into play instead. If an effect would place 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, it places twice that many on that permanent instead. So the argument here is that every Planeswalker deck would become a pretty much instant win with doubling season, but it already is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you already
not
have
insane.
Like
Super Friends, commanders.
a Super Friends deck run doubling season, and the moment doubling season hits the battlefield, you have to take care
Yeah.
of it, like at instant speed,
and it's just not
split
split
second.
Corrosive grip, and it's just not the commander
Yeah.
as like your
Corrosive
planeswalker
grip.
commander. Like because if you're playing a commander, a planeswalker commander, that's the only one, or I don't know, like out of 5 or 10 maybe. But if you're playing a Super Friends deck, you probably have like 15 or more planeswalkers. So you got to watch out for the ultimates of all of those. I say with the doubling season argument, I've read that a lot of people, like, if they allow planeswalkers as commanders, they would ban doubling season, and I disagree with this because I don't think it means game over. Sure,
Yeah.
like
Nah.
you can do doubling season and Tamio, field researcher, and the ultimate is draw 3 cards. You get an emblem that says you may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. That's probably the more busted one in my opinion. But you already have that. You
I don't
already
know,
have
there's
that.
probably some
Yeah.
Yeah,
something out there that
uh, yeah. I will say that all the planeswalkers that puts emblems as ultimates are like the most difficult to deal because the you can't deal with the emblems. I mean, if you're doing the ultimate of a
But
planeswalker in the
that's
same turn that
but
enters,
that's
and then
something
again and
that's
again and again,
wrong with a
the end you will
planeswalker
have like
card design. It's not something that's wrong with a format. It's just something that
yeah.
that they made. Like even the professor at Tellurian Community College, shout out, uh, shout out, has even said
Shut
that
out.
was like
Yeah, shut out.
a major play design flaw, that something that cannot be interacted with is no fun. And you still have that. Like you still have that on Super
Yeah.
Friends decks. So like, who cares? Like for me, the thing.
one argument could be made that this uninteractiveness as a commander is what's but that's the argument. But
Yeah, that's
I
the
would say
downside to it.
it's not. I don't know. I don't feel like, yeah, as Victor said, like we would need like to test this out, because I don't really feel it's that relevant. Like we already have very busted things, like even Daretti, the red one,
Yeah, they're ready.
the red artifact one.
Hmm?
I don't know what other Rowan. What's the twins' names?
Rowan and Will?
Rowan and
Kentrith.
and Will. Yeah, Rowan and Will Kenrith. Like those two guys are very annoying to play against with. Like maybe some soaring with an emblem. It's like, I don't know. It's annoying, but it's not that relevant.
It's not gonna, like, for me. The ones that represent a little bit more problem is Vraska the Unseen and Vraska Golgari Queen. Vraska the Unseen.
Can you read out?
Also
least
Relics.
one,
Also
Vraska
Relic
Golgari Queen?
Seeker. I'm gonna read Relic Seeker because I think it's like one of the more powerful ones, and it curves
Okay.
with doubling season. It says +2 create a. It's a 6 CMC for if anything, 1 black, 1 green. It's a legendary planeswalker Vraska. It enters the battlefield with 6 loyalty counters, and it has a +1 create a 2/2 black pirate creature token with menace. -3 destroy target artifact creature or enchantment. Create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap. Sacrifice this artifact. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. These two abilities are relevant with doubling season because it doubles your tokens too. Like it already comes in with 6, so
True.
doubling season will make it 12, and you can -10, and Vraska still lives. And the -10 is target player's life total becomes 1. That's not 10, that's 1. Like you just like ping and that player's dead, or like a measly flyer and that player's dead. Yeah, because that's a feel bad, because like
That
you're
is a
only
feel bad
like you're
command.
wasting all of your resources on one guy, and after that you're just doing nothing. Like that's it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it doesn't win.
it doesn't win
games.
games. It
It's
just takes one player out of the game, and if you happen to be that player, and most of the times it's just random. Like you're playing, like you want to play, like you want to sit down and play EDH, and someone like Vraskas you, and then you're dead, and it's like, oh, okay, well, then I'm just gonna go.
One thing to say with how doubling season works with Planeswalkers is that it only doubles the counters when it enters the battlefield.
Not when you plus something.
Because when you activate their abilities, putting the counters is part of the cost, not of an effect.
Yes. So Vraska and Vraska the Unseen is ultimate is put 3/1/1 black assassin creature tokens onto the battlefield, and they have whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. And Golgari Queen, -9, you get an emblem that says whenever A creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. That's obviously the more powerful
Extreme
that's
one.
the more powerful ultimate, but she starts at 4.
Yeah.
See, she's out of doubling season
Yeah.
reach.
So, and like, okay, this argument doesn't count. Always saying like, oh, it's part of the 99 when you can tutor it and you're obviously running black. But it's one of the 99, and I think that's gonna be rare. Like that's gonna be like any other combo, right? Like 2-card combos exist in EDH, and they're very easy.
I mean, yeah, you can be a total,
butthole.
guy.
I think
you can be a total spike and have like tutors and stuff like that to get the doubling season out really fast.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I mean, if you're playing a Planeswalker commander with green, all the games will be like search the doubling season.
And the downside, so
to
go
play,
on.
do your stuff.
Go
And
Sorry, what?
on, go on. No, keep talking. Like
What?
I interrupted you. I was gonna say something else. Anyway,
so we we also need to talk about
Oh,
the
right.
okay,
chain
Totally.
veil.
before we change
Um,
topic, let me say what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do happen to tutor your
Okay,
doubling
okay.
season and get what you want, that's gonna be cool for you. But in the other 100 games that you don't, you're gonna be advertising that you're that guy, that you're playing Raska or you're playing Karn. And if you don't get in, you're gonna be targeted. You're gonna be targeted from the get go.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
it's only
Yeah.
Yeah. Other like
Yeah, one thing.
it's only going to
One
work
important
like
thing is like
2 or 3
politics
times.
play a lot into EDH, and the meta game plays a lot. Like how
Yeah.
the play group plays the game is super important.
Yep. Yeah, you're gonna die most of the time. Like you're gonna advertise your combo, and that's why I think like it's better to have like commanders that aren't threatening. That the threatening stuff is inside your deck. That you don't advertise it. You play your whatever commander and it doesn't draw attention, and your deck's actually pretty good. That's me. The chain veil.
Okay, so the chain veil.
Chain veil.
Yeah, the chain veil. So it is a 4 EMC card. It's a legendary artifact. Or of anything, of course. And it reads at the beginning of your end step, you didn't activate a loyalty ability of a planeswalker this turn, you lose 2 life. And then it has 4 tap it. For each planeswalker you control, you may activate one of its loyalty abilities once this turn, as none of these abilities have been activated this turn.
Mhm.
So pretty much you can
Yeah.
activate twice your planeswalkers, right? So yeah, this card combined with doubling
Mhm.
season, it will be like game breaking. But as you were saying,
no, you're
Atraxa
forgetting-
Super Friends, it is a thing.
You're forgetting
So
something.
it's
I
mean-
Teferi. That's
What?
that's already a tier 1 CDH deck.
oh yeah, I mean
Temporal
Teferi?
Archmage.
yeah.
Teferi.
Oh,
Yeah,
Teferi.
and-
Oh, yeah. I
and
was
Teferi is a
thinking about
planeswalker,
Teferi. Yeah, Teferi, the
and it's
blue one.
legal.
Okay. Let me read this one. Yeah, okay. Let me read out. Teferi, Temporal Archmage. 6 CMC, 4 generic, 2 blue. Planeswalker Teferi. It enters with 5 loyalty counters. +1. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other on the bottom of your library. -1. Untap up to 4 target permanents. -10. You get an emblem with you may activate loyalty abilities of planeswalkers you control on any player's turn anytime you could cast an instant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and up and
Yeah, like as you were saying, like
And he's
and we
he's
all
legal.
know that the Teferi decks
I mean,
are
yeah.
super annoying. It's like stasis and and
stats
Winter
and
Orb
everything,
and back to basics, and nobody can play things, and Teferi's just there laughing at you.
Yeah, you untap your rocks, you have like a ton of mana, you have the chain veil.
It's a lot of control. You always like you're like kind of
And you can tutor with Fabricate
You-
or Whir of Invention, so
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, you can do the chain veil combo super easy in this deck, and I mean, uh, that's the point when I'm like, why Teferi is
Yeah.
legal, and I
Yeah, like-
can't play with I don't know,
Okay,
Ashiok as my
let's say
commander,
like what's
right?
like your top commander you would like to play as
like Planeswalker.
Your top planeswalker you would like to play as commander.
My oh. Well, for me, it will be Ashiok. Yeah, Ashiok.
Okay, let me read
uh,
Ashiok. So Ashiok,
Okay.
Nightmare Weaver. It's a 3 CMC planeswalker, 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 black. Planeswalker Ashiok. Enters with 3 loyalty counters. Exile the top 3 cards of target opponent's library. That's a +2. +2 ability. -X. Put a creature card with converted mana cost X exiled with Ashiok Nightmare Weaver onto the battlefield under your control. That creature is a nightmare in addition to its other types. And -10, exile all cards from all opponents' hands and graveyards. So, I mean, Ashiok seems like a
nice.
pretty fun card to play with. Like, I also wanna. Like, I'm always looking for a place to play them, but I've never found a deck that really
like I even I've even had two mill decks, and none of them have had a single copy of Ashiok. So that says a lot. Like Ashiok's a mill planeswalker, and I don't even play it in mill.
Sounds like they need a pretty specific kind of deck, and it would be perfect if they were the commander.
I mean, yeah, I think it will be like I said, a steely, control-y deck. I don't know, but I think with Ashiok it will be like super fun to play. As
Victor, you were saying the other day that you would like a Sarkhan Unbroken deck, right?
Yeah, Sarkhan Unbroken. I even had a Sarkhan Unbroken that I got to play with. I don't know if it was with you or.
Yeah, I think you were.
But it wasn't like I didn't even have Doubling Season. And it's pretty good. Like Sarkhan Unbroken is pretty good. Like it's a really good commander. If it were a commander. Sarkhan Unbroken. It's 2 of anything, 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 red. Planeswalker Sarkhan, and enters the battlefield with 4 loyalty counters. It has +1, draw a card, and add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So that's ramp and card draw. -2, put a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. And -8, this is the busted part. Search your library for any number of dragon creature cards and put them into the battlefield. Then shuffle your library.
That seems like a pretty fun commander.
It is really fun, though. I would see how like Doubling Season, then Sarkhan, or like just stalling the game, and then ultimating Sarkhan is gonna mostly yield a win. Like you're almost every time gonna win. I mean, unless something else happens, like unless someone has like the removal for Sarkhan.
I could probably see like a Sarkhan combo deck being competitive, like like the Sarkhan combo, like just rush to -8 with Doubling Season and win the game with all the dragons. But that kind of deck already exists. It's Scion of the Ur Dragon.
Scion of the Ur Dragon. Like you already have Scion of the Ur Dragon, and like you have CDH decks that are way faster. Like they can combo out generally on turn 3. So I don't think Sarkhan at 5 mana.
Yeah, I mean like you were saying, I don't think any Planeswalker deck will beat Prush
or like a Narset or like a Jeleva. That's super fine tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those CDH decks, they're already like too powerful, and I think like Sarkhan's on the realm of like casual but like tuned, and because this came because I wanted to do like a dragon deck that wasn't like all the other dragon decks. Like I thought they were like too First, I had an Autarka World Render, and I thought all the other Dragon Commanders were already too common, or that everyone played them. And I thought Sarkin was like pretty fun, and also makes tokens and draws you cards in that mana. So, and I also love the art.
Yeah, and also he's like super
Yeah.
flavorful to play as your dragon
Yeah,
commander.
and like that's the thing. Like I don't have a teamer deck right now, or I mean, I have decks that have the teamer colors in them, but I don't have like a teamer deck. And I really want to. Like I'm trying to look for a combination or something that has teamer, just teamer. But if Sarkin was legal, that would be my teamer commander for show.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I was thinking that maybe Nisa Vital Force. It's a dangerous planeswalker as commander, but kind of like the same as Ugin or Karn. Like it's kind of dangerous if she goes off, but what kind of deck isn't? So let me read out: Nisa Vital Force, 5 CMC, 3 generic, 2 green. Planeswalker Nisa enters with 5 loyalty counters. +1, untap target land you control. Until your next turn, it becomes a 5/5 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. -3, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. -6, you get an emblem with whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. I was just thinking about how the ultimate can get like out of control because it is an emblem, and like because
Yeah,
she is your commander, you can keep casting her and getting more emblems. Like
yeah,
I can see how she can go out of
sure.
control, but again, you need a lot of pieces.
Yeah, and like honestly, already like just playing this as one of the 99 does that, and she usually ultimates. Like whenever I played her. She usually ultimates. Um, and not to talk about decks like Azusa, Lost but Seeking, that already have like that Horn of Greed kind of strategy, Tireless Tracker. You're already playing that.
I mean, yeah, the thing is we will be here, like as Balam was saying, that since Nisa will be your commander, you will have like 5 or 4 emblems, and I mean that can get tricky to play against. I mean, not that it will be like super new to the green commander decks, but it will be annoying to play against, to play a land and have an opponent draw like 6 cards. So yeah, I will think Nisa, like Balam was saying, Nisa with her ultimate will be like super annoying to deal
Yeah,
with.
like there's a lot of like Garruk Wildspeaker, maybe Venser the Sojourner,
Mm-hmm.
one of the Elspeths, like the one that makes everything indestructible. Xenagos
Sure.
the Reveler. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see a lot of very powerful commanders, but
Um, yeah, I think if they become legal, I don't. Okay, honestly, I don't think they would ever become legal, like as something that the rules committee would do ever. But if we like say made them legal on our play group, I think the play group would just evolve and
yeah,
evolve to play
it's like
better
like
against
like kind of
planeswalkers.
the tuck rule. Like everybody was like, um,
Yeah, yeah, or the mana burn, am I right?
yeah, or freaking out about it. But like it just changes, but it doesn't really change the way you would play a lot or the way you would build decks. Like we already have removal for every type of occasion. We already
Yeah.
have like creatures or board wipes that take care of planeswalkers.
Yeah.
And it's just like enabling another way to build decks, and that's I think that's more important than
Yeah.
maybe Karn will make me feel bad one day.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
biggest pros are that it's a lot of diversity, and it honestly would attract a lot of the new players. Like if someone's playing standard and they like open planeswalkers like a new player, and you get excited about a planeswalker that you crack on a pack, you're gonna want to like it's like an awesome feeling to have a deck and it's like on the helm it has a planeswalker like your favorite character from Magic. That's like how I started to play EDH because Like I wanted to like have a creature representing the whole deck, and I don't know. That's a lot of fun, and I think it's gonna draw, or it would draw a lot of the new players into the format. And I mean, more players, the merrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I will say that. I will say that. Yeah, like pretty much, it won't change the format at all. We just, at the very least, we will have like some pikey players playing like Karn or Ugin or whatever.
Mhm.
But you will be seeing a lot of fun decks using
Yeah, I think you
weird interactions with weird planeswalkers, I guess.
Yeah, and I think those would be more than the spiky ones.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, like you said, the more the merrier. So
Something that,
yeah.
that someone on Twitter said that made a lot of sense for me was that like the format's in its best shape right now that it's ever been, and that's like the best time to what's the word that I'm looking for, to test it out, to experiment. Yeah, like it's the best time to experiment because the format's like so good. You could do anything without like a lot of
Testing it out. Like, yeah, you can always go back to it if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, it's not going to damage it. Yeah, you can always go back. One thing that I'm going to say is that I don't believe in bannings.
Yeah, hashtag free Gristle brand. Yeah.
No, not those kind of banning.
What do you mean, like, you don't believe in banning? Like, banning cards?
No, if Planeswalkers become legal, I don't believe, like, in banning... Okay, I misphrased it.
Yeah, like...
in banning them, like, right off the bat. Like, saying, okay, they become legal, but Karn is banned, or...
Oh, no.
Okay.
That would have, like, that would take a while, I think, in playtesting and a lot of factors. But like if Karn shows to be, or any other Planeswalker shows to be like really unfun, breaks the spirit of the format, then I mean so be it. But as they are right now,
like let's say tops 5 cards, 5 Planeswalkers that really break the format, which I don't really think it's a lot. Like they can always be seen case by case.
Yeah, and like honestly, I don't think that's one of the main concerns about the rules committee. Things that are too powerful have never bothered them because they're powerful stuff you can do in Commander. They care more about what's fun, what's not fun to play against, what's gonna prevent you from playing Magic. Like they want people to play Magic. It doesn't matter if it's powerful or not. They want you to play your cards, and I don't think any Planeswalker so far is on that criteria. But I digress. It should be tested out.
Yes.
Yeah, and also on the same thread, Justin Parnell from Commander Versus series from Start the Game. Shout out. Shout out
to Star City Games. Please sponsor me. Just me.
Just.
That's it. No, they say that they've played, and they have played a lot of games with commanders as Planeswalkers as commanders.
Oh yeah, and their Commander Versus.
Yeah, and the Commander Versus, because they can do whatever they want. It's like a safe environment to test, and they said that so far they haven't had any problems. So I'm gonna
take that, rules committee.
Wow. Radical.
I think that if Sheldon Menery, shout out, he would say that do it on a local level, like house rules, right?
Yeah.
And
I think it follows the rules of the unstable commanders, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But X.
Yeah.
No, what's a spike?
Well, except
spike,
right? Yeah, I think they will be following the same rules as the unstable commanders. If you're in your play group and they allow it, it's fine. I mean, they are not like anything broken or whatever. I myself have an excellent Grusilda deck, and it's super play.
Do you still have it?
Play against.
I'm gonna put a hot take out there. I'm gonna say it. I don't even think Spike is that big of a problem.
Take that back. No, I mean,
Because
yeah,
we've
you're right.
we've had a friend that played the CDC deck, the mono black CDC that won the tutors, and
Yep.
I mean it's kind of the same.
Yeah, you can tutor any. It doesn't have to be banned. Like, what card is banned that's really worthwhile? Griselbrand? Maybe.
No, they should unban
And
Griselbrand right
I
now,
think
'cause
like
I'm
it's banned
building a
in
demon
any
deck.
format, right? Like, but
Stop it.
I don't know.
Oh,
Like
constructed
sure,
form.
maybe some Black Lotus and Moxes and then
Legacy,
Griselbrand and or Biorhythm or something like that.
Stop saying Griselbrand.
Griselbrand.
Hashtag unban Griselbrand.
Um,
I think at the end of the day,
Ban the brand.
Unbrand the brand. I think EDH, like you were saying, it's more about the politics and the fun. And if you're having like a super competitive deck with Biorhythm or Griselbrand or whatever, you only are going to get the hate of the entire table, and you are going to die in the first like 8 turns.
Eight
And
turns is a lot though.
you well 6 turns. So yeah, the only card that they should ban is like Griff, but that's a different story.
Whoa!
That's a different.
And yeah, and yeah, I mean, I don't, like you were saying, Victor, I don't believe in bannings of that source in the case of the Planeswalkers. And I will say like it will be a fun experience to have, just like in the same train of thought of the unstable commanders.
I agree.
So final thoughts,
Thoughtseize.
Cease.
Thoughtseize.
I think
Thoughtseize.
Planeswalkers should be unbanned. Well, no, should be allowed as commanders.
Yeah,
And because they're fun.
because
and
they're fun.
Allow for a lot of new deck building options.
Yeah, we all agree.
Yeah, I do agree, and I think also Griselbrand
No.
will be unbanned because I'm building a demon deck right now. And yeah, please, okay.
No, we don't agree with that. But the Planeswalker thing, we do. All right.
Yeah.
That's our show.
Very well then, that's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed our first episode of the Salty Commander podcast.
We would like to hear your thoughts. If you're listening on YouTube or something else that has a text option, leave us your comments. It could be like on the topic related or podcast related, like how we do. Any constructive criticism is very welcome.
Yeah, let us know what would you like to hear about. Like, ask us stuff. You know, tell us what you think about Planeswalkers. Just communicate with us in all of our social media. That would be.
Look us up.
They should be in the video right now. Like you can look the one you prefer. And if you're listening in YouTube, use the sidebar, or we should be putting the links around. So click them.
Click all the links.
Like, share,
Yeah.
comment, and
Let
subscribe.
us know. Yep.
Yeah, boy.
Yep. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Okay. See you later, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in the next episode of the Salty Commander podcast. Goodbye.
Laters.